Hey guys, Kyle the Death Knight of Midnight here, bringing you my review for Black Clover episode 39. And pretty much immediately, we get the reveal that the traitor is pretty much I think it's gold ray of the purple orcas. And again, it's one of those things where I appreciate the fact that they didn't drag out the whole reveal thing throughout the episode. It's it's one of those things where, like I said in my last review, all signs are pointing to William Vengeance being the traitor. So really, all they're doing is at this point is dragging out the actual reveal even longer for, I guess, what the show assumes is going to be an emotional reveal and make the betrayal seem a lot more genuine. I guess. I mean, I get, like I said, it's Vengeance. It's fucking Vengeance. Like, oh, they've made it too. Like, I will admit that this is one thing that the show has done wrong, which is that they. This is another thing the show has done wrong, which is that they've made the reveal of the villain a little too obvious. Definitely to the point where any attempts to kind of, in order to swipe left and try and divert our attention, isn't really gonna work. Like, it's Vengeance. It's fucking Vengeance. We pretty much we know this already. It can't be anyone else. Although, having said that, one thing I do like is that they also kind of is they actually didn't is that they didn't is that they didn't do, is that they didn't have to do much build up afterwards in pretty much showing us how in pretty much how pretty much the spies who were captured ended up implicating Goldie to begin with. Like, from what we see in this episode, it looks like Goldie was in fact framed by it was one of the Third Eye, and it was I think it was Raya is his name. Apparently, he used his copy magic in order to impersonate Goldie and throw the Clover Kingdom off the trail. So, yeah, in that respect, I actually got to give the show props for almost showing us immediately how pretty much how the Clover Kingdom was pretty much tricked. Like, my pretty much initial thought was that the reason as to why those spies ended up implicating him was because it was some kind of a failsafe thing that happened after Asta, like, pretty much ended up spelling that protection spell. But no, it was something that the it was something that pretty much that the Midnight Eye had put it in place from the beginning. Like they planned this shit out. That they pretty much implanted that, like, they pretty much had him go in, impersonate Goldie, and kind of, so in order to set up all this shady shit and frame him, which again I like a lot. And and after that, after the big reveal, and after Asta ended up engaging Goldie in combat. An interesting thing I thought about the fight between Asta versus Goldie is that it showcased how useful everything Asta's learned up to this point can be put to use, and even then, it still managed to showcase just how much more he still can learn, because he didn't really defeat Goldie. He only managed to stall him before Rill pretty much showed up and captured him. Like, and Rill's picture magic was some of the trippiest stuff I've seen in an anime in a while. Like, and I'm not even gonna lie. Like, I even saw a comment on this, and I on Crunchyroll, and I agree with this. Like, Rill's magic, it was lucky it only lasted like a it was I was lucky it didn't last very long, because I almost felt I was on the verge of having a seizure from looking at that shit. Like, holy crap. um and I'm not even joking on that, guys. I thought I was literally close to having a seizure there. But yeah. But Rill's picture magic, it was probably some of the trippiest shit I've seen in Black Clover in a while. Um, Also, maybe I'm imagining it, but I think Yami just broke the fourth wall with his comment about striking a pose. Almost, because that almost felt like he was mocking every anime entrance in every epic entrance in anime history. Like, every time you see a character make pretty much an epic entrance, I almost feel like he's basically mocking that or something like that. Yeah, it's kind of funny how sometimes Yami can be that fourth wall breaker. Um, And even more importantly, though, the magic tablet and stones come back into this episode. And while I will admit that the whole explanation of what's achieved by collecting all the stones is a bit of a cliche, even by the standards for shonen plot, I really feel that what we got about them about the tablet is only scratching the surface, especially with all the buildup we're getting of Lick's master in order to go along with it. So I feel that just like As's grimoire, the tablet and stones are just another piece of the puzzle connected to helping Lick's master regain his power. Especially since the word "reborn" was dropped a bit in this episode, which again is kind of reinforcing from my pretty much initial thought that pretty much their master might in fact be that gigantic ass demon that the Wizard King defeated. Like I almost feel that their master is that giant that giant demon who the Wizard King defeated and whose bones are resting in pretty much Hanjei village. So yeah, I think as far as the master goes, all signs are pointing it to be that giant demon, to being that giant demon. And yeah, I think that is an interesting bit of setup for sure. As like an old threat coming back to bite the Clover Kingdom in the ass, so to speak. And one thing I also appreciate about this episode is how we're starting to get a little more into the world building aspect of the series with the introduction of magic regions and how magic has such an effect on the world that it can even affect both the landscape and the weather. And yeah, it's crazy enough to think that pretty much magic can actually do that, but and and to go along with that, we also get a setup of the Wizard King Julius, pretty much sending the Black Bowls to pretty much one of these high concentrated magic zones, with that of course being the underwater temple. And I do like again. I do like, and this is of course setting up some sort of a lot of major world building for this series. And I do like what I like in particular about this whole thing about the underwater temple going forward is that we're finally stepping away from the Clover Kingdom. Finally stepping away from the Clover Kingdom. Like I know it's probably all part of the Clover Kingdom, but and even though I've enjoyed the past couple arcs, it always seems like the last couple arcs have been a little too close to home. Like I've enjoyed them, but they feel a little too safe, a little too enclosed into the kingdom itself. But here we're actually we're definitely stepping quite a ways away from the kingdom. So yeah, this is definitely going to be the start of a lot of character a lot of world building, I think, for the series as well, and show just how vast the world actually is outside of the Clover Kingdom. Now, we also get Yami's backstory in this episode, and the funny thing is that, while on the surface it's very dark and with people ostracizing him for being a foreigner, what makes it work even better and on a funny level is how Yami, to a certain degree, he didn't give a fuck if he was alone or not, but only after meeting Julius did he see that being alone had more negatives than being with a friend. And it's cool to see it's cool to see how like Julius and pretty much Julius and Yami have always seemed to kind of have this very close relationship, even from the moment they were introduced. And it's kind of cool to see where that particular relationship originated from, and from the most funny of introductions too, I guess. And it is kind of a nice parallel to see that to a certain degree, like that there are definitely differences between the two. Like with Yami not really giving a fuck if he was alone or not, but with it's interesting to see how much of Asta Yami actually sees in him, that it does reinforce that fact too. But yeah, guys, that's pretty much my review. If you enjoyed the video, like, comment, subscribe, follow me on Twitter and Facebook. Death Knight of me, signing off. Later, guys.